Yeah, MLB Data Warehouse, where the spreadsheets flow and the takes get spicy. John, Tim, Doc, let's go. Welcome to the warehouse, stat stack to the ceilings. Exit below's flying, launch angles got a feeling. Tim in the corner with the prospect report, reading fan graphs, blurbs like it's soft core sport. Junior and double A, Tim's losing.
Exit Velo's flying, baby. You got your host here, Tim Kanak at Fantasy Ace Ball. Welcome to the Prospect Warehouse podcast. And with me today, good old Jon Anderson. I think it's probably okay to just swap you and Owen every other week. I think that's actually a good thing because I miss you if I don't podcast with you in too long.
Yeah, and Owen's like a child. He's like 19 years old, so we can't be exploiting child labor like that.
Yeah, in Taiwan, he'd be like an old geezer, right? No, not Taiwan. Taiwan's legit. I mean, China.
What do you mean? Oh, because of child labor. I get it. He would have started working 10 years ago.
Yeah. He'd be a vet. He'd be a crafty vet.
Is this even labor? I can't even call this labor. People are like, I don't need to get into it. Child labor laws. Like a kid gets a job at McDonald's, and they're like, you can't work at 15. Child labor. It's like, yeah. Well, when that term came into the lexicon, it was like coal mines. Like I'm pretty sure like a 14-year-old could probably work at fast food, but I guess that's not what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, Hollywood gets around it. What we are here to talk about is baseball. Yeah, what's up with that? Come on, Hollywood. Yeah. They exploit child laborers in more ways than one. So Cincinnati.
I guess. Yeah, I see where you're going there.
All right. Yeah. All right. we're gonna talk about a guy who's a prospect, but not a prospect, but a prospect. Rhys Hines was just promoted today. No Schultz coming tomorrow too, so we'll talk about him. But Rhys Hines was promoted today, and Rhys Hines is like not a prospect anymore by service time because he came up in 2024. So from like service time, he's not. But if you're just using the simple 130 at bats, he only has 89 at bats. So technically, I guess he kind of still is. He had that hot 2024. He came up 24 games, 46 at bats, 5 bombs, 2 steals.
That was
kind of fell off the face of the earth. After that, like nobody heard of him. Last year, he was just kind of like no one talked about him, but he actually had a good season last year. 24 bombs, 21 steals, hit 300 last year at AAA, and then he was lighting it up. You got the stats here on the board. He was lighting it up, John. 354, 5 bombs and a steal. Almost
a walk rate. Yeah. Things have changed. You always want to change, right? With Rhys Hines, I do remember that. It was 24, 23. He came up and he hit like 4 or 5 homers in a week, and everybody rushed out to get him. And then it was so obvious. Like he had like a 55% contact rate, and you're like, okay, this guy's going to whiff his way right back to AAA. And that's exactly what happened. But still high K rate. But look at the progression here. We're into 2026. There's 6 years of data on this. It's the MLB and MILB stats dashboard. It's lesser known, I think, but it's in the resource glossary for paid subs. It has now 6 years of box score data. You're not going to get launch velos or stuff like that. But if you just want the stats, it is fantastic. It has 6 years now. But I need to expand the box because now we're pushing out of the range. As you can see, 2021 cut there. I'll fix that. But good example here. You can see Hines. 60 plate appearances, whatever. But getting the K rate under 25%, and that's not great. But if you see what he was doing years ago, it was mid-30s, which was never going to work. And the walk rate coming way up as well. So that's kind of what you wanted to see. This guy he's been in the majors, so I know about him. He has like James Wood, Jordan Walker, O'Neal Cruz level skills, right? Like exit velo, speed. He can really do those things. So if this, it's one thing to have this like 5-point gap between K and walk and AAA, and a whole nother thing in the majors, but you have to say he's got a better chance because look at the gaps from 2023 to 2024. There's 25-point gaps there between K rate and walk rate, and that's shrunk down to 5 points in AAA. So good sign. Skills are certainly there. So I think he's someone to know. And Tim ran out and added him. So we're a believer in categories leagues, a little bit deeper categories leagues. 15 teams. You need some homers and steals. You can probably do that.
Yeah, I just dropped Emmanuel Rodriguez for him. I was holding Emmanuel Rodriguez, hoping he would get a call up for Rhys Hines in a 20-team league. So nice add there, I think. He's only 25, John. He's not as old as people might think. Like, it's not too old to break out at 25. Like, when did JD Martinez get good? He was like 26 or 27. Justin Turner broke out when he was like 30. Like it can happen. You got a lot of guys who can break out. 25 is a good time to do that. And in the minors last year versus this year, it's a small sample size. So, take it with a grain of salt. But his chase rate has gone down 6%. So from 37% to 31%, which is way more manageable. This is like almost like, league average now, 31%. I think league average is 32.6 or something like that. Zone contact is up from 81 to 86. Contact rate in general is up from 68 to 76.6. So almost 10%, not quite 10%, but almost 10% increase in contact rate here. And contact rates going up, chase rates going down, swinging strike rate down from 17 to 11%, which is why our walk rate has gone up. I think that even if he is like somewhere in between this, John, like even if like all this stuff that he's done so far this year, which is great, isn't fully sticky, and he's like somewhere in between the strides he's made forward and what he was doing in the past, with the power that he has, he's definitely an ad. Like if you can get a guy who hits the ball 115 miles an hour and steals 20 bags every year in the minors, and they have a 71% contact rate or something like that, that's actually really good. Like a lot of power hitters have like high 60% contact rates, and they make it work.
Yeah, contact rates up, swinging less, which you expect it with the more walks, but it's not like he's totally passive. It's 47% swing rate this year, which is right at league average. So there you go. And Noelvi Marte was sent down, so you can forget about him in redraft leagues. I don't know what the deal was there. Didn't hit, can't really play defense.
No steroids. Yeah. No steroids. That's the deal.
Bring him back.
He needs the steroids.
We need steroids back.
Make steroids great again. Yeah. Number 10. Okay, we're going to get to T10. Number 10 is Cole Carrigg. You see that transition? I'm like, okay, get out of that. Number 10, Cole Carrigg, AAA hitter with the Colorado Rockies. So Cole Carrigg, if you have been following me for a long time, you know that I used to have Cole Carrigg as a top 100 prospect, and that not this year, but the year previous on Prospect One, when I did my bold predictions episode with the Welsh, I said that Cole Carrigg was going to break out, and he was my bold prediction to break out for last year. It didn't really happen. He had a pretty bad year last year. But so far this year, he already has 8 steals. He has 4. Last week, he had 4 extra base hits,
still home,
1 home run, and 4 steals. Yeah, still home. Nice. Look at that. Whoop. Look at that. 8 steals already this year for Cole Carrigg. So Cole Carrigg, super interesting player here, John. On the fScores, a 105 power, 102 hit, 92 discipline, 136 speed. So pretty bad plate discipline. He's a switch hitter. Used to be a catcher. Now is in the outfield. The dude has a laser arm. Throws 102 miles per hour. So this guy has a really good arm. And my tool grades for him, I give him a 35 out of 40 on the hit, a 30 out of 40 on the plate approach, 40 out of 50 on the power, 65 on the speed. My prospect ranking currently, I've got him in like the 225 range, like between 200, 225. So am I buying what he's doing right now? A little bit. I think he's better than like Zach Veen, for instance, but I don't really know like in the majors how good he's going to be. I think his batting average is going to be a little off. And he's a switch hitter who is very bad against one side. He's very bad against righties. He's only good against lefties. So he's only good as a righty, really, as a switch hitter. And like my comp for him, John, is Cedric Mullins, but better as a righty than as a lefty. I don't know if you remember, but Cedric Mullins, when he first came up, was a switch hitter, and then was like infamously or famously or whatever, kind of like a bad switch hitter, and then just stopped switch hitting. And then all of a sudden he got really good when he stopped doing that. So I think that Carrigg could be like the opposite side of the plate version of Cedric Mullins. And then I also put on here like my other comp from is Ramon Laureano. Like, yeah, you talk about that arm from the outfield, like ridiculous arm, and then kind of like a nice little power speed outset, like power speed combo. Maybe not the best hit tool in the world, maybe not the best plate skills in the world, but could be interesting for fantasy, especially in like Cats leagues where steals really matter, because this guy does run. He's very aggressive on the base pass. He's had 50 steal seasons, and he's in Colorado. So like there's a little bit more wiggle room for bad hit tool in Colorado, because you know your BABIP's going to play up, especially if you're a fast guy. So as long as he's like using the speed, you see the 62% ground ball rate this year. That's actually like a good thing for a fast guy. Like you don't really want to see guys with ground ball rates like that. But if you're like, okay, it's cool if you run into like 10 or 15 homers and then you just steal a lot, like that's pretty good. So that's where we're at on Cole Carrigg. You got any interest in him for this year?
It's steals. If I mean, the Rockies somehow have a bunch of players where it's like they don't really start the same lineup every day, but Jake McCarthy, Mickey Moniak's doing well, but it's kind of probably going to be hard for him to find everyday reps and stuff. But sure, I mean, the one if you're a one category guy, the one category to be that in for fantasy relevance would be steals, and that's what he's doing.
Yep, exactly. Number 9 on the T10 is Daniel Pierce, first round pick for the Tampa Rays. So Pierce is kind of like an FYPD guy that a lot of people were down on. He was picked 14th overall this draft, paid 4.3 mil. I like Pierce a lot. And like, this is the weird thing, John, is like, I had him at 31 in my FYPD rankings, and I was like high. A lot of people had dropped him to like the 60s or whatever for whatever reason for a first year player draft, but I kind of liked him a lot coming out. Bigger dude for shortstop, 6 foot 185. So like a lot of shortstops are kind of tiny, and he's just like a very well-rounded player, really good defender too. Good power, good speed. This last week, he had 3 home runs and 2 steals this week, hitting 471. So really good power speed combo here. And I like him as a hitter. I comped him to Zach Neto light. Like, I think he has kind of like similar mechanics as Neto, maybe kind of has a similar outlook to Neto. Neto, if you remember, John, was kind of like, even though Neto, I think, was a college guy, he was a fast mover, like really well-rounded prospect coming up. But I give him a 40 out of 55 on the hit. So I think he still needs to develop the hit tool, high school guy, if like going to take some time. A 40 out of 50 on the plate approach. I give him a 45 out of 60 on the power and a 60 out of 60 on the speed. So I think there's pretty high upside here with Daniel Pierce. I've got him as a top 200 prospect right now, and I think people are kind of sleeping on him. So if he's available in leagues, now might be the time to get in on him.
So like, I mean, you have your ETA at 2028. I mean, is 20 like kind of deeper dynasty league still? At what point do you add a guy like this in like a 12-team dynasty league? I think that's.
It depends on how many minor league spots you have for something like that, right? So like, if you're in a 20-team league or something like that, then you should be adding this guy right now. If you're in like, for instance, like I have like a couple 16-team Otnu leagues where salaries increase on minor leaguers, like that's something where you don't want guys that are that far away. So I'd probably wait on like an Otnu league because their price is going to go up $1 a year, no matter what, an Otnu. It doesn't matter if they're minor league or major league or whatever. Whereas if you're in like our MLB Data Warehouse 30-teamer, like he's definitely owned already, right? Like, but if he was available in like a 20 or 30-teamer where you have a pretty deep farm system and A-ball guys aren't increasing, like where guys, maybe if it's a salary league, their salaries don't start increasing until they're promoted. That's the type of league that you want to get Daniel Pierce in right now.
Is this bad news for Carson Williams? I mean, that's the guy, right?
I think Daniel Pierce is way safer. Carson Williams has a 70 grade glove though. So like, if anything, Daniel Pierce moves over to second or third or whatever. At some point, you got Caminero there, but Caminero is actually like not the best defender. I think Caminero actually probably moves to first at some point. So maybe like when Yandy retires, Caminero moves to first. Daniel Pierce maybe is ready in a couple of years when that happens and can play some third or move to second. So I don't expect him to be a shortstop unless Carson Williams just completely like flunks out, which like he has a bad hit tool, but like he's just so good defensively that you're not going to move him to another position.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have any stats on him, so I can't offer too much help here.
Yep, that's what happens when you're just drafted out of high school and you just debut like right now. Yeah. So I do like Daniel Pierce though. So interesting player at number 9. Number 8 on the T10 is starting pitcher Mason Peters, a Mariners starting pitcher. So you know you're already gonna like him. So this dude is a short lefty, 5'11", tiny little lefty here.
This is him, right?
Yeah, that's him.
Did he go to Liberty?
College. Yeah, that's him in college.
He went to Liberty.
No, he went to Dallas Baptist.
Oh, okay.
He's Dallas Baptist.
Liberty was like I grew up in Christian schools, so like all the Christian kids in Pennsylvania try to go to Liberty. You know.
Oh, really? Why? Is that like a good school or something?
It's a actual Christian school. You know,
it's real.
They have rules and stuff. They have They try to police righteousness at Liberty, which is I know you're not
do that in college, man.
You're not well, you got to try, It's worth a shot, I would say. I'd send my kids there.
Okay.
I can't afford it.
That's a fine endorsement.
Subscribe so I can afford it in 10 years when I need it.
Yeah. So Mason Peters, lefty, 5'11", 175 pounds. This dude has a crazy curveball. So fastball, curve. He's got a sweeper, and then he's got a gyro slider. 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, 0 hits in 5 innings, 50 pitches this last week.
He's only one way to go.
No hits. Yeah, no hits, only 1 walk, 9 strikeouts.
But he can
and that was his second start.
He can only get worse, Tim.
So this dude was at Dallas Baptist a reliever, John. He only made 4 starts at Dallas Baptist. And now in the minors at A-ball, he's made 2 starts. So in 2 starts, this guy's a 21.7% swinging strike rate, 0.63 whip, 40% K-minus walk rate. So he's absolutely dealing. You see the 0.65 JA ERA there. Absolutely dealing. Like the stuff, because he's 5'11", he has a really low, really low release point, what kind of helps him. So the curveball is over 3,000 RPMs. Fastball is 93 to 96. I threw a 45 out of 50 on the fastball. The curveball I threw a 55 out of 60 on. The sweeper a 45 out of 50, and then the gyro slider a 50 out of 55. And he's got pretty good command. 45.
He's a little guy. This guy's way too.
Yeah, dude, 5'11".
He's boyish looking. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, well, you say that, but you don't know. I mean, I comped him to Andrew Abbott. Look at Andrew Abbott. Andrew Abbott is 6 foot, similar low release point, similar like big curveball is like his main pitch. So that's my comp for him is Andrew Abbott. And Andrew Abbott is a guy who kind of popped. Like nobody really knew who he was. Where Mason Peters, this guy, 4th round pick. And the Mariners, remember, this is the Mariners, dude. Like the Mariners really know how to develop pitchers.
Tall pitchers, not. Is Brian Wu short? It doesn't matter.
We have Brian Wu and Bryce Miller are both short. So what are you talking about?
Yeah. Logan Gilbert is very tall, so the average comes up. But
yeah, I don't know. I think it's an interesting name to watch as he's doing this kind of stuff at A-ball. He's like just completely dominating right now. Yeah. So I have him as a top 500 prospect.
How did you
this
pick
guy
him?
Was not completely even on my radar until right now.
How did you end up picking him for these? You pick 15 a week. How do you do that? There's hundreds of guys.
Because this guy had a no-hitter through 5 innings. I'm like, okay, no hits, 9 strikeouts. That's pretty good. So I'm looking at this stuff. I see his swing strike rate. Look at his stuff. I watched some video and I'm like, okay, this guy's on the list. He looks good, looks interesting. Nobody's heard of him. Like some of these guys, like Mason, like obviously like Daniel Pierce was a 1st rounder. So a lot of people know that name. Yeah. Cole Carrigg's been around for a little bit, but I just want to kind of like highlight that he's actually, hey, he's playing well right now. But Mason Peters is a guy that probably nobody knows. So I like to throw some like randos in here too for fun.
And he's a good candidate to get likes from his mom and dad on X.
Yeah, that matters.
Nobody
and
else
mom
is
and dad
talking
likes.
Yeah.
Number 7. This is a big name. This is one of my favorite players. Like I'm probably one of the highest guys on him. Like Ponce and I are like the 2 highest guys on this guy in the prospecting world. But it's Caleb Bonemer, number 7 with the White Sox. Caleb Bonemer this week, 6 extra base hits. That was 4 doubles, 2 home runs. So Bonemer lighting it up. First little stint here to begin the year. And I think Bonemer is going to be awesome. So I don't know if he's going to end up playing like 3rd, short, 2nd base, whatever. Like when I had Ponce on and we were talking about it, he thinks he's going to move to 2nd because he thinks obviously the White Sox are going to pick Rock Chalowski. And so his thought was that Chalowski is going to be the shortstop. Colson Montgomery will move over to 3rd because he's huge. And then Bonemer would be like the 2nd baseman for the White Sox. But he's off to a really hot start. I love Bonemer. 151 WRC plus last year for Bonemer, 12 home runs, 29 steals, just like really good player, gets to amazing angles. So really good angles hitter and off to a really good start this year. I don't know why he's repeating high A. He could probably be double A right now, but
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, kind of weird, but big Bonemer guy, number 20 in my prospect rankings. So I just wanted to highlight he's off to a good start and probably should be up in double A sooner rather than later.
Okay. Be a good fScore update in 2 weeks. See where he goes. Not a lot of data, but it's looking good.
fScores last year, 114 power, 100 hit, 114 discipline, 116 speed. So really, really good fScores across the board. 150 extra base hit plus. So maxed out on the extra base hit plus last year.
Okay.
Yep. Number 6. This is a guy that everybody should be watching for a call up. This is like This is like one of the top call-up watch guys that everyone should be watching. It's Ryan Waldschmidt with the Arizona Diamondbacks. So Ryan Waldschmidt is awesome. I actually changed my comp on him. I used to have on here that he was like a righty Lars Nootbaar, but he's like way better than Lars Nootbaar, so I had to change that. Now my new comp for him is David Wright in the outfield. He's actually has like a really similar swing to David Wright, and he's got power and speed. So I think like if you think of like a David Wright light, because David Wright was really good. A lot of people forget how awesome David Wright was. Like if that dude didn't get hurt, he would have been a Hall of Famer for sure, I think. Yeah. Like he's like his first like 7-8 years of his career were amazing. This is how old I am, John. I don't know if you were old enough to play fantasy baseball when David Wright was around.
Oh, yeah.
But like I remember I had a league. I had like it was my first keeper dynasty league. I got David Wright as a rookie in that league, and that was awesome until he got hurt.
Yeah, I started like 2007, 2008, and that was kind of the height of David Wright.
Yeah. So that just aged myself a little bit here. But anyway, Ryan Waldschmidt, AAA, last week, 4 extra base hits, 2 home runs, a steal, hit over 400. And this is his introduction to AAA. So he was not in AAA before this. So making quick work of AAA, hitting 400, like pretty good sign that this guy's probably going to get called up pretty soon. So I love him. I think he's going to be awesome when he comes up. Got to love the Goldschmidt-Waldschmidt connection with the Diamondbacks too. It's just like, okay, cool. He's even got the Goldschmidt helmet where he's got the wraparound, like the really big like wraparound thing that comes around his whole face there. But 40, I give him a 45 out of 50 on the hit tool, 65 plate approach. So in points leagues, he's going to be even better. Like he's going to be good in Roto. He's going to be really good in Roto because he's probably a 2020 guy, but he's going to be even better in points leagues because he has such a good plate approach. But 55 out of 65 on the power, 55 out of 60 speed. So I think Ryan Waldschmidt in every single league is kind of like a must own once he's called up, any redraft league. And you may want to start, if you have like stash spots in a league, you may want to start trying to stash him sooner rather than later. What are your thoughts on like, because you're the big like NFBC guy, John, like how many weeks out, if you think he's going to get called up, like if I'm just going to estimate that he gets called up in late May, like how many weeks out do you want to start stashing him?
I don't do that.
You don't stash prospects.
Look at Connor Griffin, man. I mean, I know it's way too early to say this, but like Griffin was the guy, and like it's been terrible for the first 2 weeks. Whatever, we kind of knew that. But if in a redraft league, and Waldschmidt's more of like he'll probably be pretty good. He's not going to probably be a superstar. So any of this, like, I don't know. I just don't want to eat the month or two of them getting used to it. And he's striking out a lot in AAA already. So
what about Sal Stewart?
Okay, how many? Either for every Sal Stewart, there are 10.
All right, it's a coin flip. Yeah, but also guys. Connor Griffin is like a baby still. So I mean, like he's 19. Like you don't blame him for like struggling as a 19-year-old in majors. So
yeah, I know, but it's just like with hitters, I always rather prefer to go after the young pitchers because like we've talked about, like they don't have to adjust. They just throw this stuff. And if the stuff is good enough, it works. The hitters it's a whole new world for them when they get to the majors.
Well, this is the thing. If a hitter has good plate skills, they're going to adjust a lot faster. Like Ryan Waldschmidt last year had a 16% walk rate and a 17% K rate. That's a really good plate approach. That's the guy who's going to come up and be fine like right away. Like Kevin McGonigal, right? Like Kevin McGonigal's fine. No issues. Sal Stewart's fine. They have good plate approaches. JJ Weatherholt's been fine. So like guys like that, where you have a good plate approach, college guys especially, like they're going to transition a lot better than like a 19-year-old high schooler, right?
So, yeah, McGonigal has been good. Weatherholt hasn't been super good for fantasy leagues. It's not like a 12-team, 3 steals.
Yeah, he's been fine. Yeah, he's been fine. Homer.
I just think the upside is overstated for sure. Like if you're in a 12-team league, I have trouble believing that like Waldschmidt will be a big difference maker, but. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, still small sample sizes too. JJ Weatherholt only has a 250 BABIP, and Connor Griffin has a 200 BABIP. So Griffin's just hitting everything directly into the ground. It's not. I'm gonna watch the tape, bro, right now for the Pirates. Man, it's been great. It's been great being a Pirate fan this first couple weeks, but it'll probably fall apart. But
he's been good defensively too.
And Waldschmidt was someone we were watching in spring. We thought he might make the team, so they like him, right? We'll see him. Yeah. At some point. We'll see him soon. So keep an eye on Ryan Waldschmidt. Stash him if you're that type of guy. Number 5, Carson Roccaforte. This is a guy that Doc and I both really like. I actually got him in our 30-teamer, and Doc got mad when I drafted him. He said I sniped him on Roccaforte. So Roccaforte
is basically like everyone says this dude has Gold Glove defense. Like I don't really watch tape of defense for these guys, so I don't really know. But everyone says that this guy's like a potential Gold Glove center fielder. So that matters. And the Royals outfield sucks. So that also matters. But Roccaforte is only in AA right now. He's in AA last year. Probably will get promoted sometime soon. Like, I don't know why they would keep him down. 23-year-old, right? Like, college guy with amazing defense, and their outfield sucks. So it kind of makes sense that they would want him. fScores you just had up 110 power, 96 hit, 103 discipline, 126 speed. And last week, Roccaforte had 7 extra base hits, 3 home runs, 2 steals. And last year, I think he had like 18 homers with like 45 steals, roughly. So this guy has power and speed. The hit tool is a little off. Like he's like a mid 60s to high 60s contact rate guy. So not the greatest hit tool. But when you're talking about Gold Glove defense with power and speed, super interesting player. I gave him a 35 out of 40 on the hit, a 45 out of 50 on the plate approach, a 50 out of 55 on the power, and a 60 out of 60 on the speed. He is a top 250 prospect for me. And I hate to do this twice in a row. I had a Trent Grisham comp last podcast, but this guy reminds me so much of Trent Grisham. Except he has way more speed.
Yeah.
Because Trent Grisham, really good defense, really similar swing. They have like the same. He literally has like really similar mechanics to Trent Grisham. And he also has platoon issues where he just dominates righties and he's like not great against lefties. So I actually really think like Trent Grisham is with speed is like a really good comp for Carson Roccaforte.
Yeah, it's kind of a common player type. I think it's fine. Just lump everybody, call them all Trent Grisham, the lefties that.
Yeah, if you're a really good defender, platoony lefty, who has some power, then boom, walks. Yeah, there you go. So that's what I got for Roccaforte.
Swing rate, 30, low swing rate too. Same as looks exactly the same as Trent Grisham. 39% swing rate last 2 years. So that's pretty low. So walks, power, speed, like you said. And what did you say? He's in AA now?
Yeah, he's in AA, and he's 23, and he was in AA last year for 45 games. So can't imagine like when he's hitting this well, like why would you keep him there for that long? Last year, this dude had a 138 WRC plus, and this year he's up to a 183 right now. So I feel like he'll be up to AAA pretty quick. And like, who is the Royals center fielder? It's like Kyle Isbell or something. Like their outfield kind of sucks, except for you got Caglione, and then like, what else you got back there? You know? So,
yeah, it's like
Isaac Collins or whatever.
Lane Thomas they signed, and
Isaac Collins. It's like
Isaac Collins, yes,
and Kyle Isbell. It's a terrible outfield.
Yeah, Kyle Isbell's the man though.
There is definitely room for Carson Roccaforte to rocket his way to the Kansas City Royals this year. Like I think he's up in the middle of the year, I put mid to late 2026. So I'd say he's probably like a July call up or something like that. So
here's the exciting one. Next one is the one we got to talk about.
Yes, number 4 is Noah Schultz, called up starting on Tuesday. So Noah Schultz, really, really bad 2025. Really, he was awesome in 2024. I had him as like a top 50 prospect in 2024. But he was so bad last year, John, that I dropped him out of my top 150. I had him.
Do you regret it?
I mean, like, what are you gonna do? It's a pitcher roller coaster. Like, I think I had like 165 or something like that, roughly, during my offseason rankings update here. But the dude's a giant. Look at him.
Yeah,
he's
crazy.
6'10", 240 pounds. Like, I comped him to Randy Johnson and Logan Gilbert light mashup. It's like, who else you're going to comp a 6'10" pitcher to?
Bailey
Ober. I mean? Yeah, there's not many. I think he's better, even though like Bailey Ober had bad fastball and Noah Schultz has a bad fastball. I think he's better than Bailey Ober still.
He's a bad fastball?
Yeah, he's a bad fastball. That's the reason that I'm like still not super high on him. So last year,
by what? By velo or results or?
By results. I mean, his velo is okay. By shape and results.
Is it a sinker?
No, well, he's a sinker guy, and his sinker's okay, but his four seamer sucks basically. So he throws 3 fastballs. So let's dig in here on Noah Schultz a little bit. Yeah. So Noah Schultz last year had a 14% walk rate. In 2024, he had a 6% walk rate. And then now he's back down to a 4% walk rate, which is why I'm kind of liking him again now.
Yeah.
So he was really good because usually like you hear about tall guys with mechanics issues, and that's why they always kind of flunk out. And he had really good mechanics, really good walk rates his whole career until last year, just completely atrocious last year on the walk category and the command side. And that really just made him terrible. 9.5% K- walk rate last year for Noah Schultz, John. So like, and he has never been a good swinging strike rate guy. Like even when in 2024, when he was good, 11.8% swinging strike rate. Last year, 12.4. You and I know that swinging strike rate helps correlate kind of maybe more than just looking at K rates when they're going to be promoted to the majors. So like those things I was very down on. 23% K rate last year. That translates to like a 15% K rate in the majors. It's really bad. So really good this year though. He figured out the command, and that's making him a lot more effective, a lot better. So here's his pitches, John. His top pitch is a sinker. There was 94 to 97. I threw a 50 out of 60 on that sinker. Then he's got which you see, you don't have it up there. You see the sinker has a 10.8% swinging strike rate, but what you don't see is the ground ball rate on that thing.
Yeah.
On that still that you put there. I think it has generated like 80% ground balls or something this year. Small sample size, but like last year it was like 60%. So the sinker's good. Like you don't want the sinker to really be like a strikeout pitch, but as long as it's getting ground balls, it's a good pitch. You look at that 16 inches of horizontal break is a good pitch. So even though 97 stuff, I think the sinker is pretty good actually. It does what you want it to do, which is to get ground balls. Now the four seamer, you see 94 stuff plus. I don't like the four seamer. He hits 99 on it, so he does have good velocity on it. Man, he's a giant, extension. But
how do you not get a good stuff plus out of a 6'10", 96-mile-an-hour four seamer?
Because it only has 12 inches of induced vertical break. That's terrible, man.
But do you
the
throw
average
it
is like
out?
15.
But you're comparing. The stuff plus it relies on comparing other pitches and how those similar pitches result. But the comparison pitches aren't coming from 7'5" in the air, this guy could just be a model breaker just because he's so freaky.
He's not getting whiffs on it though. This is the thing. Yeah. It's like if he was a model breaker, he'd still be getting whiffs on it. So it's like it has bad shape. It has good extension and it's fast, but it has bad shape. The spin on it isn't great. And then it's not getting whiffs. So that really, like at the end of the day, if you're not getting whiffs on it, that can kind of tell the story. Like if it was getting a 15% string strike rate with bad shape, then it's like, who cares? But
your mom has bad shape, Tim.
I agree. Don't go after my mom. So next pitch, we got a sweeper, 82 to 84 mile per hour sweeper. I threw a 60 out of 70 grade on the sweeper. That's his best pitch, in my opinion. He's got a really good cutter too. So sinker cutter are good. I don't like the four seamer. The cutter, he throws 88 to 92 miles an hour. I threw a 60 out of 65 on the cutter. And then he's got a changeup, which I don't really like. I threw a 30 out of 40 on it, 88 to 90 mile per hour changeup. There's just like not enough break, not enough shape to it. So I'm not a big fan of the changeup. The command grade, I give him a 45 out of 60 because I'm like, what do I do with this right now? It's like he's shown 60 grade command in the past, and he's showing it right now. But last year was so bad. It's like it can come and go. And it's like this could be like a Quinn Matthews thing where it just like comes and goes. But right now he's kind of got it. Like he's got command potential here. And in some models, like I think in yours, John, like he's got a curve and a slider, but really it's the same pitch.
Yeah. Like
the curve and the slider are actually just one sweeper. Like it's the same pitch. So I don't know, they for whatever reason, some models read it as a curve, some read it as a slider, but it's actually just a sweeper. So
it'll be really interesting to see the projections tomorrow. If you're listening to this Tuesday, he's starting tonight, or maybe you missed it. But my projection model, daily projection model, does skill projections for every player. Just tries to figure out the baseline before we add in the environmental factors, and it does the whole 40-man roster. But it's not always super accurate. Like it was like that's fine. I screwed you over. Maybe it wasn't because of me, but George Klassen, right? Like my model was crazy about him, and it's not easy to project minor leagues to major league stuff. So it was high on Klassen, but it's a decent way to start. I'm sure the Bad X
is still good though. His command was just atrocious. Yeah, so like so when Klassen comes back, if he figures it out, don't just drop him because. I think even yesterday when he got rocked, TJ Stats, our best friend, put up that he had the highest stuff plus on the day, even though he got rocked. Yeah. So Stuff still looks good. He just has 0 location, like no command whatsoever.
My model says 24% K rate, 9% walk rate. That'd be what's that? 15% K minus walk. That's fine. It doesn't see. I don't know how can he keep the ball in the ballpark because he's kind of a ground baller with the sinker, so he should be a little bit above average at that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think you probably give him a shot in a 10-team, 12-teamer just to see, but he's not like a Skeens or Burns or anything guaranteed. So, but we will know more very soon. That's exciting.
I think he's a number 3 starter. I would look at him like you look at Rhett Lauder, right?
Okay.
Maybe. Like a Rhett Lauder or like a Parker Messick would be like a best case scenario. Like obviously Parker Messick is like destroying right now, but like that type of guys, like that'd be like a best, completely different guys. Like one guy is like they might be the same weight, but like one guy's got like 10 inches on the other guy. So
I think he might end up getting overrated because of how big he is. Like
yes,
it doesn't seem like he plays up to his size.
Yeah, well, Doc only likes pitchers who are 6'5" and above. So
yeah. Can't hurt.
Number 3, 0-2 apparently. Number 3, I'm the only one who's cool with short pitchers. All right, don't worry. I got my boy Mason Peters, who went to the small Christian school. That's going to be your favorite player now coming up. Number 3.
We're never going to hear of him though because he's going to be terrible.
Oh, come on.
I have no idea. I just heard the guy today. Don't listen to me.
Yeah. All right, number 3 is Robby Snelling. Everybody who listens to me and reads my stuff knows that I absolutely adore Robby Snelling and have for years. So Robby Snelling last week, 12 strikeouts, 4 walks in his start. When will he come up? We need Robby Snelling to come up. Like this guy, I don't know, like the Marlins, like even Braxton Garrett isn't even up. Like what is Jansen Junk doing right now? I don't pay attention to Jansen Junk. So like what is this guy doing right now? Because this is the guy that's blocking Snelling. 11.6 K minus walk. And unfortunately, he's got a 4.32 ERA, which is serviceable enough that you just don't throw him away. So I guess.
Yeah, Junk's he's not good. I mean, people have been kind of interested. It's Jansen Junk. Like we've done this before. So, is it about that? Is it about their need, or is it about some plan they have for Snelling? I don't know, but we talked about him a lot in the offseason. Like he's built up. He threw a bunch of innings last year, and he looked really good. And it was a little bit of a rocky start. I mean, not really, I guess. His first starts weren't fantastic, but 12 strikeouts should get some attention. And does he still have the velo? We had a velo bump last year, right?
Yeah, still got the velo, and Marlins are 8-8. They're in second right now. Like, I feel like why mess around with that? Like, why not just promote Snelling? Like, you still have Thomas White. You can mess around with Thomas White. Like, promote Snelling. Go ahead and promote him. Because I think that he's probably their best pitcher. I think he's better than Alcantara. Once he's actually like
Yuri. He's not better than Yuri Perez.
Second best pitcher, I guess. Yuri. So there you go. He should be their number 2 in my opinion. But if you are unfamiliar with Robby Snelling, he was awesome last year. 109 stuff, 116 control, 108 ERA on the fScores. Arsenal grades that I gave him. Fastball, I gave him a 65 out of 70 on that 4-seamer. You can see it has a 105 stuff plus with 18 inches of induced vertical break if you're watching on XVision or YouTube, which I recommend. And then he's also has a curveball. I threw a 60 out of 65. For whatever reason, the pitching profile model doesn't really like it that much, but I think that's a really good pitch, that curveball. It's just,
MLB Pitch Profiler, MLBPitchProfiler.com to get this data. This is not mine. I have a subscription, so we should give them a shout out.
Yes. And you can see here, John, this is what we were just talking about. You see how it has a 100 on the stuff plus, but look at the whiff rate, 37.1%. So what does that tell you? I think it tells you that it doesn't really matter about the shape. I think that that's a tunnel thing where like the 4-seamer or whatever, like he's just so good at tunneling his pitches that thing works a lot better than whatever the model spits out. Changeup, I threw a 50 out of 60 on. You can see that changeup, even at 55.6% whiff rate, even though that has a 91 stuff plus on the model. Throw that video up there, John. Let's get that up there. And then the slider, he throws 82 to 84. I threw a 40 out of 45 on the slider. He has excellent command, even though he had 4 walks. He's a 55 out of 60 on the command. You heard that he had a 116 F control. So this guy's got really good command. I comped him to Jesus Luzardo Light. He's got kind of similar build. The dude was a linebacker. He's like a 4-star linebacker. So he could have played football. So, like when you hear a 4-star linebacker, okay, the dude's probably pretty built. And he was, I think in 2023 at the Padres, he won like the new coming pitcher of the year award or whatever when he was just up out of high school. So he's been around for a long time, still really good. Still only 21 years old. So like, hopefully nobody has prospect fatigue of Robby Snelling, but he's awesome. And I'm the guy who's always been Robby Snelling over Andrew Painter. So give me Robby Snelling.
I think I should trade him to you in our dynasty league. So he's like my only valuable asset. Maybe you can just give me like 5 crappy players for him.
I want him. I'll take that. Let's
just trade for him. Currently leads the in AAA in K rate. If we look at AAA pitchers with 2 starts, Robby Snelling leads at 41%, Didier Fuentes at 40.5%, and Noah Schultz at 40%. Those are the only 3 above 40%. It is 10, 13, and 14 innings there, but okay, we want strikeouts. There's nothing new for these guys to be getting some strikeouts. Snelling over Schultz pretty easily for you if they both got called up today.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where would Snelling be like if you had to do rest of season redraft SP ranks with the Snelling in the majors already? What can ballpark? I know that's a tough question.
Top 40. I think he's a top 40 starter. Okay. I would not be, any rookie pitcher, I'm not going to put as like a top 20 guy unless like, like they're Paul Skeens or Chase Burns or whatever. But yeah, I think he's a top 40 starter.
Okay. All right. So keep an eye.
Schultz I think is more like top 60, 70. Like I said, think of him like a Rhett Lauder. Or like, if best case scenario would be if he's like a Parker Messick.
Would you?
Because I think Snelling, like I said, could be like a Jesus Luzardo.
Would you rather stash him now and hope that it happens in the last 2 weeks, or because everybody out there in fantasy leagues has like this streaming spot where they're dumping dudes every couple weeks, and that like, if you're lucky, it seems like if you're really good at it, you can maybe squeeze some positive production out of that. But sometimes it's better maybe just to start the 5 or 6 good guys you have and just use one of those spots on a stash that can help you down the stretch. Like, would you rather have him or like some kind of Mike Burrows / whatever streamer every week until he gets called up? Because you might miss him if he,
Yeah, you could miss him, but I think that Braxton Garrett for the Marlins is going to be the first guy called back up. So I think you can kind of just monitor the situation like that, because like they've got Paddock and Jansen Junk. Those guys are not good. One of them is something's going to happen or someone's going to get hurt. When that happens, then Braxton Garrett is going to come up first. And then once Braxton Garrett is up, then okay, Snelling's the next guy on the totem pole here. So now I can start thinking about stashing Snelling. At least that's my view on it. I would be very surprised if Snelling comes up before Braxton Garrett. So,
Garrett's been good in AAA, 0.59 ERA, 30% K rate, 9% walk rate. Snelling's got him beat in K- walk, but the walks are there for Snelling. Garrett's a major league player.
Yeah, Snelling's way better. I mean, like Braxton Garrett has like a 89 mile per hour fastball or whatever. But for whatever, like that's the weird guy that I used to always talk about, because I'm like, this guy has 3+ breaking pitches and his fastball sucks, but he makes it work somehow. So I like Braxton Garrett. So number 2 on the list, this is a guy that everybody should know at this point. It's Kade Anderson, another Mariners pitcher. So Kade Anderson in AA, drafted. What?
I'm related to him. He's my cousin.
You're related to Kade Anderson? What? Okay, maybe somewhere.
No. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, go back to Moses.
You, James Anderson, and Kade Anderson are all somehow related, right?
That's right.
Yep. So Kade Anderson, 11 strikeouts, 2 walks, really great start, 63% strike rate. So showing the command early, big time command guy. So Kade Anderson, I love this dude. My comp for him is Max Fried. And fastball, I think he threw 60 grade on the fastball. And slider, I give him a 55 out of 60. The slider's 84 to 88. The curveball, I threw a 55 out of 60. And then the changeup, a 50 out of 60. So this guy could be 4+ pitches. He doesn't have like one super elite pitch. So I don't think he's an ace. I think he's more like a really good number 2 starter than an ace, because he doesn't have like a 70 grade pitch. He doesn't have like a Bubba Chandler fastball or whatever. But he also is a lot safer, because he's got 4 good pitches and he has good command. So like he's safer than like a Bubba Chandler, for instance, which is why I had him ranked ahead of Bubba Chandler in my offseason prospect rankings, even though Bubba Chandler has the 70 grade fastball. So that's Kade Anderson. Really good start to the career here. 17 strikeouts, 3 walks. Pretty sick.
Straight to AA. This was his professional debut this year. Is that right?
Yep.
And right to AA. And the Mariners typically call up directly from AA, right?
Yeah, they have in the past. Brian Wu called up straight from
Bryce Miller.
LA.
Maybe not. I've definitely, because they're the PCL thing. They don't like to subject these guys to that. So, I mean, they're already low. Like the Emerson Hancock breakout has kind of happened as well. That's probably questionable for staying power and stuff. But then Bryce Miller's working his way back. So they have like 6 dudes already. I don't know. He's, Anderson's not a teenager. He'll be 22 soon, if not already. So maybe it could happen this year. It probably would take an injury or two, though.
Yeah, I'd say it would take an injury. So, I mean, like, obviously, like, Bryce Miller's going to come back first. So, once that happens, like, yeah, if there's an injury, Kade Andreson could be up. I think that, like, he's probably up regardless at the end of the season because the Mariners have championship aspirations. Like, you don't just keep an arm like that down. So, like, worst case scenario, even if all their starters are healthy, they're probably going to call him up, like, the last couple weeks of the season just to be, like, a reliever and come in and just, like, punch dudes out of the pen. Just because, like, if you're trying to win a World Series, you're not going to, like, leave that guy hanging in the minors. You know what I mean?
But how many innings could they possibly want him to throw this year?
I mean, like, it all depends. Like, if someone gets hurt, like I said, they have championship aspirations. If someone gets hurt and they need him, then he could pitch 70 or 80 innings. But, like, if nobody gets hurt and they have really good injury luck, then, like, I don't know, like 5-10 innings in the minor and like out of the bullpen at the end of the year. Like,
yeah. Okay. But so is that like first year player out of college? Is that typically what you see? First year pros, like less than 100 innings, they really take it easy.
For the best ones, Paul Skeens did it. Chase Burns did it. So, like, a lot of the best guys, they just.
But that's not a lot. I'm saying that's like a surprisingly low number to me. And he's gonna. There were 6 days rest. He pitched on April 3rd and April 10th. I don't know if that was just a schedule thing or if that's by design, like once a week. But the question is, like, if he's in AA starting on a regular thing, by July 4th he'll be at 80 innings, and then is that curtains or
look?
what?
Here's a good model to think about.
Yeah.
Trey Savage last year pitched 98 innings in the minors, and the Blue Jays had a good rotation. They didn't really need him, but he started in A-ball. He didn't even start in AA. So technically, Kade Anderson has a head start on Savage, but Savage came up in the majors, pitched 14 innings, made 3 starts, and then was dominant for them in the playoffs. So maybe you see something like that for Kade Anderson. I feel like that'd be like a good kind of model to base.
We're not talking about a redraft fantasy option.
No, sure. I would unless someone gets hurt, I would not really think of Kade Anderson for redraft leagues. Right. This is more of like a next year thing, where next year he'll probably I would almost guarantee he breaks camp in the rotation next year.
Okay. But potential future total stud.
Yes, exactly. Number 1 on the list, Theo Gillen. Theo Gillen, this dude had 4 home runs within 6 at-bats in a row, like Saturday and Sunday. So he had 4 bombs last week, 5 extra base hits, 2 steals. Theo Gillen, former first rounder for the Rays. So we have 2 back-to-back Rays first rounders in this T10 this week. Theo Gillen is a guy that I've been high on, where other guys did not see him as a top 100 guy. I had him at 86 in the offseason rankings. I think when I had a guest on there, like, you have Theo Gillen pretty high. And I was like, yeah, I like him. And then Doc came on, and Doc's like, oh, I also really like him. I agree with you. fScores a 101 power, 95 hit tool, 120 discipline, 121 speed. So you got a nice power and speed here. 77% contact rate so far this season. So making contact for Theo Gillen. The dude is an athlete, and now that he's making contact, I think that we're watching Theo Gillen kind of like break out before our eyes right now. So he is T1 this week. Theo Gillen, former first rounder for the A's, or for the Rays, not the A's, sorry. High A now, so he's in high A as a 20-year-old. 6'2", 195-pound outfielder.
Okay. No chance of this year, though? Is that...
No, I don't think so. Way too far away. Yeah, way too far away. Hitting grades, I give him a 40 out of 50 on the hit, a 60 out of 65 on the plate approach, a 40 out of 55 on the power, and a 60 out of 60 on the speed. My comparison is a smaller, more toolsy Parker Meadows. Well, when I came up with that comp, a lot of that is like on mechanics and like the way he looks at the plate, in my opinion. I don't necessarily think he's going to be like an injury-prone dead guy like Parker Meadows has been. And like his brother, Austin Meadows. Like, for whatever reason, the Meadows families, they have bad injury genes. Because Parker Meadows just got hurt again. So
yeah, what did he like? He got a concussion and broke his leg in the same thing or something like that. It was like,
Yeah, the Parko Meadow, the Meadows family has like bird bones or something. They're just like hollow. I don't really know what's up with that. I guess they should have eaten more like elk or something as children.
Definitely, that's the solution. Theo Gillen, number 1. I got to ask you about one guy. Kyler Fedko. Do you know about this dude?
Who?
Kyler Fedko.
Oh, Kyler Fedko. I like Fedko.
26-year-old AAA for Minnesota, hit 3 dingers yesterday. He was in the Daily Notes today, and we haven't talked about him. He's not. I don't think he's a top prospect for them, but he has been crushing AAA pitching since last year. So
no, I've got him in a couple leagues. I've got him in my. I think I've got him in. I don't know if I have him in our 30 teamer, but I know I have him in the other 30 teamer that I'm in. And he's 26 years old, so people are going to see that and think he's quadruple A. But he was like really hot. He was like one of the better fScore performers last year. Like his fScores are off the charts. If you want to pull that up real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see that.
I think I have him in our. I think I might have him in
ours. I have him in the other one. I know that.
I have a personal story about him too, sort of personal. But here's the fScores first. So we'll go ahead. You explain these fScores.
Yeah, 115 power, 99 hit, 111 discipline, 110 speed. So that's really good fScores. He's 26. So people are going to be down on that. But the dude had 28 home runs and 20 steals or something last year too. So he's like a 20-20 guy. 75% contact rate, not bad. So, I mean, like if you get an okay hit tool with power and speed, that's pretty awesome. The main concern I have for him is that like the Twins are super into platoons. Like all their outfielders are basically platoon guys. You got Waldner and Larnick and all these guys. And it's like, okay, you got all these platoon guys and he's a righty. And as a righty, if you have all these lefty power hitters, it means you're going to be on the short side of a platoon. So I do think he comes up probably relatively soon. But I think because of the Twins roster situation, like if he comes up, he's just like the platoon against Waldner or the platoon against Larnick. I don't think like he's going to get full-time reps.
Okay. So his dad was a Pittsburgh sports. Let's get us back. His dad, Jon Fedko, was a Pittsburgh sports TV personality in the 90s. And I watched this. It was the Fedko Zone. It was like this. Was that the Twilight Zone? Remember that old TV show? Yeah. And like the camera going through the sky. So he did the Fedko Zone and he made a play on that and it had the same music. And he was funny. And I would always watch him. And so I remember that guy's like in my head from childhood memories. So then I see this Fedko name. I was like, oh, I was thinking about Jon Fedko. I didn't think they might have been related. And then I made a tweet about Kyler Fedko a couple weeks ago, last week. And Jon Fedko himself, the Fedko Zone, gave me a like. And I was like, are you John? Are you that guy? And he's like, yeah. So we DM'd for a little bit. And now
nice.
You could say that I am more of an online personality than Jon Fedko, but that was something for me. I know nobody cares about that, but it's my podcast and I get to tell the stories. So
I like it. I actually do care about it because guess what? We're gonna get another mom or dad or whatever that loves our show now. So we're the parent friendly podcast and Taiwan friendly, not China. Taiwan for the win here. Okay, yes. So we have if you want all the T10s, there's actually 5 more write-ups that you get if you subscribe to MLB Data Warehouse. So if you want to read, I'm going to give you the names here, but if you actually want to read my write-ups for them and learn about them and see the fScores, we've got Josh Hammond, JT Quinn, Juan Valera, Chris Suero, and Tate Southacene. So 5 more names, plus a bunch of honorable mention guys that I'm not going to name on here, which, by the way, Kyler Fedko was one of my honorable mentions, John. So I don't know if you saw
nice.
that. So, yeah, there you go. If you want my honorable mention names and you want to read about those 5 write-ups, make sure you subscribe to MLB Data Warehouse so you can actually read the article. And
tools, get the dashboards, which are getting fixed. There's some problems, but they'll be fixed.
They're going to be fixed. And like John said, we're going to get an fScore update in a couple weeks here once we have sample size in. So that's going to be awesome. You're going to get live fScores. This is the only place you can get live fScores or fScores really in general is MLB Data Warehouse. So make sure that you subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the next podcast with our boy Doc for Doc's Dynasty Hour. Peace out, everybody.
Big Data Warehouse. Warehouse. Yeah, we bring the spree. Prospects, DFS, betting strategy. John's grumpy, Tim scouting like a man possessed. Doc drafting comeback stories better than the rest. But the tools are elite and the content's free. And your fantasy trophy gonna look prestigious.